Breakfast. It's time to look at the papers and headlines across the dailies in Nigeria. And I have my regulars in the house. Olade Ndiario is here with me. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Same here.
You've been traveling across some states recently
I had to attend
festivals and all of that.
Traditional festival.
Great. That's
Ogun and all of that.
Amazing.
So when I'm back with a lot of
on your next trip,
power.
On your next trip,
I will assure you before I go today.
And I have the lady in the house, broadcast journalist Funke Treasure. Funke, good morning.
Good morning. Good to be back.
Good to see you. Good to be back, actually.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, let's start from the Daily Times. Daily Times newspaper says, governors, legislators, judiciary agree pact on financial autonomy. Governors, legislators, judiciary agree pact on financial autonomy. That's the Daily Times. And we have the Blueprint newspaper. Senate on insecurity. Nigeria under siege of murderous non-state actors. Blueprint newspaper says, Senate on insecurity. Nigeria under siege of murderous non-state actors. Says 350 million of 500 million West Africans illegal weapons in our country. And we either take measures or watch them overrun us. And gunmen kill 3, bandits, doctors nabbed in Kaduna. It's really troubling there. Of course, if we have time, we'll talk on that. Let's move now to the national economy. National economy says it's focusing on revenue leakages. FIRS, NGF, canvas technology adoption in tax processes. Federal Inland Revenue Service, Nigeria Governors Forum, canvas technology adoption in tax processes. Say contact incentive revenue at risk, and certainly a lot of other riders there. That's the national economy. Leadership newspaper is next. Leadership says, rising attacks on police may lead to full-scale insurgency in the southeast. Rising attacks on police may lead to full-scale insurgency in the southeast. All right, these are all things we could be looking at on the show today. Business Day is next. In search of more money, Nigeria changes oil reform. In search of more money, Nigeria changes oil reform. That's Business Day. News Direct is next. News Direct is focusing on petrol. No increase in ex-depot price in May. The NNPC is saying this. No increase in ex-depot price in the month of May. Okay, and now a statement was made by the GMD of the NNPC, Mele Kerry. The Punch newspaper is next. The Punch says, fuel subsidy rises to 500 billion naira. NNPC rules out price hike. Fuel subsidy rises to 500 billion naira. NNPC rules out price hike. Nigeria should subsidize production, not consumption, says CRS. And lack of local refining capacity behind persistent subsidy. Gumbi is saying this. All right. The issue of subsidy, whether it is or whether it is not, remains the debating topic across the country. Now, the Vanguard newspaper is next. Vanguard says 50 billion naira FACC shortfall. We declined governor's request to borrow from the CBN. The federal government is saying this. March allocation fell by 50 billion naira. Governors asked to live within their means. Finance minister is saying this and adds government aims to triple revenue ration to 15% of GDP. And Nigeria Governors Forum deliberately mute on issue of printing money. Fayemi is saying this. All right. From the Vanguard, let's go to Daily Trust. Daily Trust says it's focusing on inflation. Nigerians groan as food prices skyrocket. Nigerians groan as food prices skyrocket. Food inflation now 22.95%. That's the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics is saying this, or National Bureau of Statistics rather. Workers lament static pay amidst price hike. Workers lament static pay amidst price hike. Okay, I guess this will interest my guests for us to talk about sometime if we have the time on the show. Daily Sun. Daily Sun says Nigeria's existence under threat. Senators are saying this. They say country under siege from murderous non-state actors. 70% of illegal weapons in Africa found in Nigeria. Really troubling, I must say. Okay, that's Daily Sun. From there, let's go to the Guardian newspaper. Guardian says pressure on disposable incomes as unemployment doubles. Only 46.4 million Nigerians with jobs. OPS seek definitive action as inflation compounds household woes. Okay, only 46.4 million Nigerians have jobs. That's troubling. Okay, that's the Guardian newspaper. The last one we're looking at now is the Nation newspaper. The Nation says gunmen kill policemen in multiple attacks on stations. Gunmen kill policemen in multiple attacks on stations. Buildings, vehicles razed, detainees freed. It's terrorism, says federal government. Okay, these are really troubling times. You could see on the front page of the newspaper there, a police station was attacked in Uzuakoli, in Bende local government area of Abia State, and you see all of that burning there. All right, gentlemen, gentlemen of the press, let's begin. I think let's start from the Daily Trust. Daily Trust. Let's talk about food here. The point there is, everybody eats food one way or the other. So when the issue of inflation that is affecting food, everyone is affected somehow. And Funke, I'd like to start with you on this.
Well, I'm not happy at this revelations this morning. Inflation being at 22.95%. When we had that. I'll say it's an altercation between the North and the South in terms of supplying the supply chain of food in Nigeria. I knew this was coming because at that time there was unnecessary waste of agric produce, and at that time also, the good thing is that at the end of the day, those of us in the Southwest woke up to the fact that we needed to work on our food sufficiency. However, it looks like it was a little too late for the season, seeing that supply chain was broken at that time. And our people just need to, our governors, because they're the ones governing the states. I don't see any reason why there should be such inflation when we have states like Osun, like Oyo, which are supposed to be food baskets in the Southwest, when we have Ogun State. So what exactly is wrong with us? Why can we not sufficiently produce the food that we need to eat? Now look at it again. 46.4 million Nigerians have no job. Have jobs.
Have jobs. That is the population that has jobs. That's the population
yeah. So at the end of the day, these other people, we just pay lip service to agriculture. I remember some 5 years back, there was this noise about agric and agric. And so what happened to all the things we did that time, all the activities, what happened to Bonyi producing rice, some northern states producing rice, lip service, audio, like we say, like we say in Nigeria today, audio.
All right, I know you have a lot to say about this now.
Because when she said Osun, Oyo, other places, I just traversed.
Back in the days.
You just came back from some of these states. So
I just came back.
Let's hear you talk about this.
I cannot imagine that in Osogbo, precisely, a cut of goat meat was going for 900, 1,000 naira.
Wow.
In Lagos, it was still 500 before I left. So the first one was a shock. And then they will cut the amala in so small a size that it would look like a sling stone. And then
This
me
is
that
how you
would
know
take
somebody
only
is
two
eating
or
amala up and down.
me that would take about 3 or 4 wraps here, I will be done. I saw myself taking 8.
8 wraps of amala.
On national
That's it.
TV.
Whoa.
This is such
Whoa.
this is
I am-
such a
I am-
revelation.
I'm telling you,
He needs to
I am
take us
telling
to that
you,
place.
I can mention places, but I'll be advertising them free of charge.
No, please don't go there.
It was that bad. A bottle of water before I left Lagos was between 50 and 70 naira. In that place, it's 100 naira, and I can
Flat.
go. Yes, so I had to. I said, now I eat only once a day anyway. I couldn't get my fruits.
No wonder you could
So
eat
I had to
8
I had to
wraps
start
of.
eating twice. I had to, if you know Oshogbo and Ede, there was a joint I knew way back in Ede when I had this agri thing doing there. I would drive from Oshogbo to Ede to go and eat. Why? They still call their gugufe at 500 naira. And I was wondering, this is an agrarian society. It's not like
Precisely.
Lagos. It's not cosmopolitan. It's not regular rural setting. And it is this expensive to eat. One place I went to for rice, they told me a spoon, a scoop was 250 naira. So I ate 8, 2,000 naira without meat because I had exhausted my budget. And I'm not saying
can't
this
believe
to
you.
Why are
bring
you
the
laughing?
reality onto you. I'm not talking from statistics. I'm talking of my personal experience. I couldn't even eat in the hotel where I was staying anyway. Forget that one. And then if I, at my level now, give it to me, would be complaining, about food, the most basic of all basic things in life. You can imagine the state of several other people, what they are going through. We now have the Almajiri experience. People are milling around eateries, popular eateries, waiting for leftovers, waiting for remnants. We never had it that bad. Now, I remember all those things you were saying. I have a farm with a friend in Delta State where we did cassava. We also wanted to move into plantain before this crisis of herdsmen attacks came up. Not a few people have abandoned farming because of insecurity. So even in the north, where they still have massive farming experiences, a lot of them have been sent away from farming. So when that happens, there must naturally be a shortage of food. And when there is shortage, price normally will increase. And
Let me take it from there, Are.
problem.
So insecurity.
There are so many, all these anchor borrower, CBN, they've gone moribund. I can say, because we also applied for loan to expand our farm, whereby we could process our gari right there in Uzoro instead of bringing it to Lagos. But hey, it didn't work out. We didn't get anything.
Let me take it from where you talked about insecurity. You recall that sometime in 2020, we woke up to the news that some farmers were beheaded, on their rice farms. You see what has been happening at Okeogun. Okeogun is the food basket of your state. And look at the battle with insecurity they've been having. It means that from that place, which is a source for lafun, for elubo, a lot of basic food items. There's been a crisis there, security crisis there. So it's affected production and then distribution. So why won't we have food shortage? If you recall the palliative crisis in 2020, you saw the way our people were scrambling for food. That should tell you that there's something wrong with our food chain and the production of food in this country. Why would citizens scramble like that? I recall that of Jos. People were climbing up on top of, it was terrible. So then you ask yourself, having seen that, it was during the lockdown, yes. Having seen that the security situation is making our farmers susceptible, to attacks like that, right-thinking, forward-thinking, proactive, governors and people in governance should know that we're going to arrive at this juncture. So what was done?
Yeah,
nothing.
But when governors tell you we don't have the powers, we don't control the security machinery of the state.
No, what she's saying.
There's so much they can do.
What she's saying is that they should have begin to be proactive.
No, of course.
In agriculture. I understand, but you see, so long as the farms remain insecure, nobody will want to go there. And that is just that. Yesterday, I was looking for mango. And I remember we used to have mango everywhere. But now they come in bits and pieces, and I couldn't buy mango. Why? One miserable looking thing. They said it's a 200 naira. I had to walk away.
No, but you
know,
saw the
it's
way...
also affecting the quality of our life.
Right.
And our health too. She knows anyway, because I eat vegetables and fruits in the morning. I eat cooked food only in the afternoon, and in the night I eat food.
I don't understand this.
But these days now, my diet has changed. I wasn't eating bread before. Now I'm back to eating bread. Why? Banana and the plantain, the alternatives, are no longer easily affordable. That's the reality, which means our savings is also being eroded. And it's going to also lead to mass poverty. I think something needs to be done. I've always been saying it, that when they say a governor is the chief security officer of the state, I say no, it's a scam. In what way is he? He has no apparatus, he has no men that he can command. If he calls the CB, I want this done, they will have to call the AIG somewhere, call the DIG, then get to Abuja for the IG. The same thing with the military. That has been the structure. These things have to be done. And I'm glad that the Senate has finally woken up to see that the way we are going, the country is falling apart.
Oh,
I don't like that language, non-state actors. We are all state actors. We are all involved. It's about us. We are Nigerians. It's about us. When all these nonsense things started happening, we were talking, and we told them, if you allow these storms in teacups to grow, it might escalate into something that we can manage. Look at
what we're seeing in the eastern part of Nigeria in terms of security.
Entirely now.
So it brings us back to when the people talk, when the people agitate, listen to them and give them what they want, as long as it's within the purview of the law. So our youths woke up then and said, please end SARS. There was a monkey, camel, all kinds of dance drama around it. Now we've seen the reprisals in the eastern part of Nigeria, and they're strategic. They know what they're doing. They're attacking police stations. Do you know how many policemen we've lost in the last 3 months?
Of course.
To attacks. So it's about time, I'm using this opportunity to say, it's about time that our people in government go back to NSAS. Look at what the youths are asking for. Look at those people. We set up judicial panels, didn't we? What were the results?
The panel is still meeting.
They're still meeting, but what is the government doing? They have, in the eastern part, for instance, let me quickly make this. Some of the people, some of the citizens in the eastern part of the country had mentioned particular officers who were, a pain in the neck, more than a pain in the neck to them. Some of them are still working, free. So then it's the brazen...
disregard.
For the citizen. So then the citizens decide to take justice into their hands, which is not proper.
Which certainly is not proper, and it's not civilized as well.
It's
But
not.
now that you've taken us there, I think that story is on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. Rising attacks on police may lead to full-scale insurgency in the southeast. Let's go there a little bit.
Look at that image on the Nation
Are we just
newspaper.
getting to know that there is insurgency in the southeast?
No, of course. The knowledge is there. But let's
have a culture of hugging our problems.
Yeah, Oladin, the point there is, with this issue right now, where I like the way put it. These people are strategic. From Owerri to Abia and all of that. You see how they are attacking. Nobody really knows who they are. There was a time the former IG said they were IPOB and so on.
I sent something to a man in Umahia yesterday on Saturday. As at 6 p.m. yesterday, he was still struggling to go and collect it. Why? The location of the park, that's Umahia Park now.
Umahia.
Ishi Gate, they call it. The man said it's a crime area, no-go area, that he will not go there.
And that is the state capital.
And I can tell you my experience.
That's the state capital.
I was in Asaba. I was in Onitsha, going to Ihiala. By the time we got to Owerri Road, straight from Upper Iweka. It was something else. And I was scared that since when I become this, I go, boy, don't keep quiet and tell God to take you out of here. I was supposed to have proceeded to Wiri, but I could not. I was scared. I was afraid.
So
I had
that's the
to
point.
return, to Asaba. Then the following morning, ran away. Now, I don't like the way people are taking this thing. You see, IPOB, MASOB, they were agitators. They were festering instead of people sitting with them. Because everywhere, people will protest. Okay, this is democracy, and that's one single right you can't take from nobody. But when people protest and then you don't address them, it will escalate. A situation whereby we have ESN now, and they're not hiding, especially when they said, look, you don't threaten a man who is ready to die with death. To have taken that ideology means it's a serious problem. They threaten that they will go after policemen. They're not hiding it, and they have their issues. I would have expected the governors to at least give them some measure of audience. You've seen the North. They've been negotiating with bandits over and over. It was when things got out of hand that they changed their style. But still in some places, they seem to solve the problem. It has gotten round now, full circle.
All right.
Instead of starting the new security agency, I would have expected, okay, it's a chance to bring in the
Let me quickly make a
But
point.
the governors in the East have inaugurated Ibu.
That's what I'm saying.
Ibu is their own Amotekun.
Yeah, but it will take a time.
Is not as weaponized as ESN.
The point there is you can't even put them side by side.
God bless you.
On the ground that the mode of operation of a state actor will be different from anybody who is either a terrorist or any of those.
I want to draw both of you back to the statistics we got this morning about 350. One paper said 350 million of 500 million weapons in West Africa, illegal weapons in Africa, are in Nigeria. Another newspaper said 70% of Africa's illegal weapons are in Nigeria. The question is, with all the hula baloo, the noise by the Nigerian customs, how did these weapons get in? Having now realized that these weapons are in, whether by intelligence or by whatever means they arrived at this, what are we doing? Because it looks like Asho Bomoyemo. How do I translate that?
Asho Bomoyemo.
Omoye has already left the market naked. The clothes that they brought to dress her up failed to meet with her.
So she's gone to the market naked before the arrival of the clothing.
May I tell you, let me answer your question. We have over 1,500 unmanned borders across Nigeria. And if there is free access to human beings, to guns and whatever, what else? All of the warriors, the fighters in Libya, they are in Nigeria. By the time the federal government said allowed people from Fulanis to come in from other parts of the world to Nigeria, then they now made everything a lot more complex. That's why we are today.
But the question,
as we are here, whether you like it or not, they are still bringing in more arms and ammunition.
Yeah, do you know what I find laughable and tragic at the same time is to listen to the news, watch the news, and see 6-7 northern governors accompany the Nigerian president to Aso Rock. You're jobless. Like you don't have enough work to do. I can imagine Southwest governors going as an entourage. To Republic of Benin's president to Aso Rock. Do you even have an idea of what the country is grappling with at this time?
Anyway,
so tragic.
The point there is, the one question is, why Nigeria? All of these people coming into Nigeria with the weapons you're talking about, and all of that. But we'll have to leave it here.
Why
now.
Nigeria? Because because
Yeah.
they've seen
Why
the
Nigeria?
Yeah,
gap
we-
of
yeah,
governance.
we have to leave you here now. We'll leave you here now. We'll leave you here now.
Let me pay for your time.
Don't worry, we'll send you the
today.
invoice first.
Let's do extra.
Ario, thank you so much for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
On the program. Funke
I wish
Treasure,
Nigeria
thank you.
well.
Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for coming.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
we all wish Nigeria well and hope things
Because
change
it's
for
the
the
only
best.
country we have.
Yeah. All right, we have to round it off here. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We're looking at the papers this morning.